So the economic news is not good. No bueno. We are heading towards a recession, and that's not good for the economy. What you see here is Jerome Powell. The Fed just raised interest rates 25 basis points, why they'll stay high and what it means for your money. So we're heading into a recession. So because of the pandemic, inflation went way up, all the way up to 8%. That means that prices increased 8% year to year. That's way too high. So the Fed, they have been increasing the bank rate. That's the rate at which we can borrow money consistently, like 4 to 5% up, percentage points up. So they're trying to bring inflation down all the way to 2%. So by making money harder to get, that slows the system down. And people are worried that because of this, we're going to have a recession, which means that our gross domestic product declines over 2 quarters. And the result of that is people are buying less and less stuff. A lot of people will lose their jobs. These are the things that happen during a recession when things slow down. So anyway, so in this video, I'm going to share with you a little bit of information about that and what we can do about it. So stick around because I'm going to share with you 4 things you can do to power through the recession and come out as a thriving rideshare driver. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy, drinking my Nespresso shot, loving it, loving the smell and the taste of coffee. I love everything about coffee. So, news publications are all saying the same thing. Here's a couple that you can look at. A recession may be coming. Here's how long it could last, according to economists. And then we got a recession is coming and stock markets won't come through it unscathed, right? And there's a picture of the New York Times, coronavirus and the fear of a recession. So let's jump into this topic, and we're going to kind of look at how this could affect you as a driver, and then I'm going to suggest 4 things you can do to continue to thrive as a driver. Number 1, will a recession put more drivers on the road? So obviously, the more drivers there are on the road, the less demand there is for each individual driver. So that's no good. We don't want a lot more drivers jumping on. Now, Dara K., the CEO of Uber, said recently that the increase in inflation has driven people to start to drive. So if eggs went from $4 to $5 a dozen, people are saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm going to need some extra money to buy the same amount of stuff that I've been buying. So if I go out and do a little driving on the weekends, make a little extra money, then I'll be okay. So Dara K said that's what's happening. So that has increased the amount of drivers on the road. Now, compounding that with the recession, that means there will be some people who are losing their job, right? Because there's less demand for goods and services. Companies won't need as many employees. They're going to be wanting to cut costs. This is typically what happens in a recession. So that means more people are going to say, hey, I lost my job. I need to make money. I got a family to support. I got to get out there and figure out this rideshare driving thing. And that's going to put even more people on the road. So the answer is yes, a recession is going to put more drivers on the road. That is not good for us. 2, will it mean less demand for rides? Well, yes. If people have less money in their pocket, they're less likely to say, hey, honey, let's go out to the bar and we'll Uber, to the bar and back, right? Or let's go out to dinner. Less people are going to be going out and having dinner. There's going to be less what they call discretionary income. So that's going to drive demand for Uber and Lyft down. We'll see, but we could expect a little bit, at least, of less demand. Coupled with more drivers on the road, that's not a winning solution for those of us who are driving right now. So 3, what can you do about this? So I painted kind of a bleak picture, yeah? But here's the thing that happens though. As the situation gets worse for drivers, a lot of drivers are going to quit. They're going to say, this isn't a way to make money anymore. It's too difficult, and they quit. So those of us who know what we're doing, we're going to stick through it, and then we're going to come out the other side with less drivers, and the economy is starting to recover, and we're going to be in great shape. So what are the 4 things you can do? Number 1, get selective about your rides. With this new upfront pricing, every ride is different than the other ride. In another video, I showed how one ride paid me $10 per hour, another ride paid me $50 an hour. So you got to be able to quickly calculate which rides work for you and which rides don't. So be selective about your rides. 2, drive when most drivers don't. So if there's more drivers on the road, you really got to find out when is the time when there aren't a lot of drivers on the road, so your demand for you is going to be higher. For me, I used to start at 5 in the morning. Now I'm starting at 3 in the morning. And from 3 in the morning till about 9 in the morning, I'm busy. I don't have any downtime. It just goes like that. Boom. I just get ride after ride after ride after ride. And that's because most people are home sleeping, right? I mean, in order to get to work at 3, I need to go to bed at 6 at night. I wake up at 2 in the morning. From 2 to 3, I do all my morning routine. And then by 3 o'clock, I'm turning the app on. So drive when other drivers aren't driving. 3 is focus on bonuses and promotions. Uber and Lyft are still offering decent promotions and bonuses because they want you to drive at certain times of the day. So you got to look at that and kind of plan your schedule around those so that you can secure those extra bonuses, which in many cases is like 20% of what I make on a weekend is in the form of bonuses and promotions. And number 4 is get those tips. People are still out there. They're still generous with their money. They still appreciate a good ride. So, keep your car clean, keep yourself clean, play the right kind of music. I made a video about putting signs in your car to remind people that tips are appreciated. Lots of things you can do to make yourself every day a better driver so you can earn more and more tips. When I put the signs in my car, my tip percentage was 18%. So that means if I made $1,000 in a weekend, I made $180 in tips. So tips can be a significant part of what you earn every single week. So those are 4 solid, no BS ways that you can seize the day as a driver out there on the road. So what are the key takeaways here? Well, whether it was a bat in China or a lab leak in China, it doesn't really matter because we just went through this pandemic and we're still feeling the effects of it. So this is all happening because, we had this pandemic. Our government gave us a whole bunch of money to get through it. Things went crazy. That made prices go up. Now we're kind of bouncing back the other way. That's how we're going to have a recession. It's all noise. It's all noise. The key is to focus on what you can focus on, what you have some control over, and that is being the best driver that you can be. And that's the key takeaway. Yeah, the recession will have some roles in how many drivers there are driving and how much demand there are for rides. But my experience is do what you can to control your little world, which is be the best driver you can be and take all this knowledge that you have. Knowledge is power. And if you're on this channel, we're always giving you all this knowledge to make you a better driver. So you have a huge advantage over other people and just use that as an advantage and you'll be fine. That's what I'm saying. I want to say thank you for watching the video. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, go ahead and subscribe. If you like the video, please click that you like it. That would be great. That would help more people to see it. This is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy. You go ahead and have a beautiful day. Go tell someone you love them. It'll make their day. Be safe out there on the road. Take care. See you next time. Bye for now.